Hey guys, first fan of the night. This is technically continuing our testing day from, was it 2 days ago?
Yep.
And we had to, stop and pick up again because of some technical difficulties. But we are back, and we are back with this classic fans. Some of you guys may know this is a Hunter original copy that was made around the late 70s, early 80s. And they actually, in some ways, are better quality than the Shaded Pole originals from the same era because they did not copy the 2.5 amp ones, which kind of halfway suck. They copied the earlier 1.9 amp version, which is a much better performer. Draws less current, moves faster, etc. So in some ways, these are better performing than originals. They're also heavier than originals. Their castings are. I'm told they actually use the casting design from not originals, but R52s and C17s and that sort of thing. If you look at the top of the motor housing, it kind of does look like a much earlier Hunter,
Interesting how they use the canopy from the then
current ones. Yeah. And then the Reversair blade arms, which were the latest mechanical reversing that came after Adapt Air. And then, of course, the arch end blades, which is not a Hunter thing at all. And then they have the brand name on the bottom cap like an Island fan. So it's definitely these, I think I've seen more of these in the greater Madison area than actual originals. Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
In terms of up for sale or installs?
Installs.
Really, I don't think I've ever seen an install.
I've only seen them in people's houses, and then I think I found one at a restore once here. But I've seen them in multiple houses in my parents' neighborhood, and originally I thought they were originals, and I was confused because originals with arch ends and cane, and then I later learned what they were, and it was it's kind of cool. The other ones, the ones that don't have Reversair, have Zephyr style irons, so you can always tell which ones are which, even if you can't see the tag. So they'll either have arch end blades or flat tip blades, but most of the time if they either have Zephyr irons, and their Reversair brackets are a little different, as we'll see when we get to reverse. So, and I think this will be the first time I've tested one of these with all the full test rig, including the tachometer, so I'm very curious to see how it performs. You ready to go? You want to say anything about it before we start?
Just if you follow Dan's videos or any of the fan exploits that Dan and I have done over the years, you probably have gathered that Hunter originals are my favorite fans. So I really like these just because they're such a blatant, ballsy copy of the original. Lots of companies made fans that look like originals, Evergo had one. Evergo, of course, also had the banana fan, some of which were cast iron, some of which were shaded pole, but they had the banana vents, which were obviously a big visual difference.
Just to clarify, shaded pole and cast iron, I'm not sure what you meant. Some were shaded pole, some had capacitor-based motors. I think most of them were cast aluminum, the banana version. Some of them might have been iron, but I think their original copy was cast iron.
You may be right on that.
But continue, sorry.
Lots of other companies copied the look. I think Kenroy had one that looked, at least superficially, pretty close. Some other companies did, but this is not really so much as a copy, but a clone. It's cast iron construction, shaded pole, oil bath motor, same canopy, same switch housing, same faceplate. It looks the same, and in many ways it is the same, and as you mentioned, in some cases better than the ones the Hunters being made at the time.
Yeah, there's a theory, and I have not confirmed or denied, that some of the other original copies are the same as classic fans, just as different names. Like the Kenroy, the Litex made one. There's several other really, really spot on cast iron original copies, and we have a theory that all the ones that aren't Hunter pretty much are the same company, with the exceptions of the ones that we clearly know, like Evergo had one, Moss had one that was made by Firebird, et cetera, et cetera. Would this be your favorite original copy, or is this?
I think so, and one thing too about the finish on this one, it's antique brass, but it's got kind of a patina that makes it look like an older fan. So it's just really cool.
Yeah, I wish they had an adapter version because that's my favorite. But these also came in a lot of different sizes. They came in 36. I'm guessing. I don't have them all off the top of my head. They came in like 36. Might have come in 32.
They come in 48. I think you had one of those in the museum.
Yep, 42, 48, 52, 56, and they might have even come in 60. And then they're the only original copy that I can think of off the top of my head that came with stencil blades. So, okay, let's hit the high switch. It should be set to low.
There she goes. 1.05 amps. Okay, 1.03. Still dropping a little bit. It's quite an inrush on low.
Yeah, shaded pole will do that. Yeah, that's about a normal low for a shaded pole 2-speeder.
8.4 watts. Power factor is 0.66.
Okay. You want to do the honors and see if you can get the RPMs?
1 amp even. Okay.
That's right there. This is the.
That's the old one.
Yeah.
Okay, 588.2. 581.7 and 573.9. So yeah, these are all in the ballpark.
And they're all around about 580.
Yep.
So if you divide 580 by 4, we're at about 145. So that's quite fast for a low, but it's usable, you know, in a 2-speed fan. Okay, let's take it to high.
It's got some takeoff.
Yep. Like Hunter, the cane blades were lighter weight than the other blades, so that they tend to spin faster with the cane blades.
Right. 1.98. So it's actually slightly over its
Rated current.
rated current.
I'm guessing it was probably rated for 110 volts, and since we're operating at about 120 in here, that's why. But I didn't look at the tag. That was pretty common that fans' current ratings were 110 and not 120.
Dropping to 1.96. Okay. I don't think we need to guess whether this is under or over 200, seeing as it was most of the way to 200 on low.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that's a good air mover.
Yeah.
Okay, 907. 909. 905. Surprisingly, I don't think that's the fastest fan we tested.
No, but I mean, I can't think of what would be faster off the top of my head, but definitely something that was like an industrial or, you know, really small fan with a powerful motor would definitely be faster. This is about 230 is where we're at with this.
I don't think I did the wattage yet. 159. Power factor is 0.69, so not very efficient.
No.
96 amps.
Pretty decently quiet.
Yeah, we'll see how it does on the variable speed, but
Yeah.
for a shaded pole, that's not bad.
No, the shaded pole's gonna be buffy. Okay. So let's spin down. And this, I did fill it with WD-40 as usual to clean it out, but it was actually really clean already, so I probably could have put oil in it to start rather than doing the initial run of WD-40. I say that just to say that it's the bearings were very clean and the oil reservoir was clean and all that is, you know, either it was ran dry or it was well cared for, one of the two. But normally if they're ran dry, there's some residual stuff, so I'm guessing it was well cared for. And people...
You would hear some bearing noise, presumably, if it was ran dry for too long.
You never know with the oil bath, you know. You don't normally get bearing noise when they wear. You get slippage and you get, you know, performance issues and.
Not like those overseas made originals though, where they just lock up.
Or yeah, or that.
Alright, let's spawn down. That was pretty fast actually.
Yeah. The combination of the blades being so light and the fact that there's WD-40 in it and it's clean. Like it probably goes a little longer with actual oil. Yep, these you don't actually push in, you just turn them, unlike the Hunter version.
Yes, I discovered that one because there was one that was flipped the other way from the others, so I discovered that one. I realized that it wasn't pushing in. Okay, I think that's all.
And turns low, blue low again.
Okay, so we run high, off, low.
And be very curious if the RPMs are different because it's going to be purely from the drag of the blades that it would be different. Because the motor is going to be exactly the same because it's still going in one direction. Definitely seems slower in reverse. And it's not uncommon to be slower in reverse with something like this because the pitch tends to be steeper in reverse, so there's more drag.
$529.2. $531.8. And 535.7.
Oops, I typed it wrong. So yeah, it was 145 in forward, it's 133 in reverse.
Okay. So we're still in the ballpark.
Yeah, we're close, but it's that's quite a lot of a difference for the motor being exactly the same.
Yep, okay, 1 amp even. 80.4 watts. 167 power factor. Okay. And here we go. Here goes nothing. Always a little nervous that these things are going to start to unscrew themselves on higher reverse.
Well, except that the reverse is the same direction, so that
Yeah.
can't possibly happen here.
Silly me. Yes, of course.
It's a little bit lower current draw in reverse, isn't it? It was 0.98 before, wasn't it?
It dropped to 0.96.
Okay, gotcha. So it's the same.
Whoa!
What?
This is faster. At least according to that one reading. Okay. Okay, maybe not. 897.4.
Yeah, that's
it went over 1,000 for a moment there.
Yeah,
I think I was too close.
You've gotten more consistent readings than I have in general.
Yeah. 892.5. 895.3.
So that's 223. What did I say it was before? Like 226? Pretty close, actually.
Yeah,
it's closer than I would have guessed.
Not too far off.
Okay. Well, we don't need to do spin down again. Do you want to do the test rig in forward or reverse?
I say forward.
Okay. Now, there's a metal method to doing shaded pull motors. I don't always do the metal method, but I'll show you what the metal method is because of metalness. After all, we both know somebody who's very metal.
We do. Shout out to his metalness.
His metalness. Okay, so because shaded pull motors are often very high on the capacitor decade box, he will usually start by just doing the 10 switch, and if the fan moves before you do it, then if the fan moves, then you go back. You work your way backwards from 10, and if it doesn't move, you work your way up from 10. So, based on that, we can, rather than guess where it starts, we're going to guess whether it starts at, above, or below 10.
Okay.
For context, originals can be anywhere from like 8 to like 13 or 14.
Okay.
You want to take a shot in the dark?
Okay, then I'm going to say above 10 on this one.
Okay, I'll say below.
Okay. Here we go. 10 switch. Oh, yeah, I think you
So
got
it does, well, we don't know, that could be at 10 too. So turn 10 switch off. Now just very, very quickly work your way up because you don't want to let it stall. I mean, not that quickly. It's, figure out where it starts. Okay, go back to where it stopped. We just don't want to. You don't want to leave a shaded pole stalled for too long, but you didn't have to go as quick as you were going. You were pretty panicked there.
That's 6, 7, 8. Okay, about 8.
I think let's see if it stalls. They're notorious for stalling. It seems like it's not going to stall, but you never know. With these, again, it can go almost a full rotation and still stall.
Okay, well, even if it's 9, it's still below 10.
That's true. That was just a shot in the dark. I had no real data on that.
Yeah, I think it's actually picking up a little bit of speed, and it's still on 8. So
Okay.
That's where it's going to stay. Okay, 9. Skip around a little bit here with this one. 12, 14.
Keep a close eye on the amp meter though, because these have a tendency to go over very quickly.
That's a 0.76. That's a nice slow, low speed if you're just looking for the aesthetics.
What is that? 15?
14. So yeah, 15 there.
I wonder if it'd work on 8, 12, 20. That'd be a first.
17.98. 19. 1.05.
It actually would work on 8, 12, 20, although your medium high is still going to be pretty slow.
Okay, 1.21, that's 20. We're actually drawing more current than our
Low speed.
low speed. Yeah. But it seems, I don't think it's as fast as the low speed.
It's not.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Shaded poles are funny like that. It's just because of the way the motor's wound.
20. 4. 1.53. 1.7. Okay, that's 28. 1.86. 29. 1.96. 1.98.
Are we over?
Yeah, that's pretty much our target.
We'll
right
hit the
there.
high switch. Go back to the one where it's 1.98.
Yeah, 1.98 is like
What was that?
right there.
What is that? 19, 20, no, 29?
29. Yep.
Okay, so then leave it there, hit the high switch.
Yep, that's where we're at.
Or it's literally right on, it made no difference.
Yep.
Okay, let's set it back to 0. Now, okay, turn the high switch off. Now turn the fan to low. We're going to do the same thing but with the fan on low. And the reason we do this is if we were ever wanting to convert this into a 3-speed pull chain fan, you'd add a capacitor to the low speed. So this is to determine what capacitor value we would add to make it a 3-speed fan. So what we're looking at is what makes a good practical low speed. A, what makes a good practical low speed, and B, where does it go over? So if it started on 8 before, it's going to start lower than 8 on low.
Okay, let me stop it by hand.
Or you can stop it by hand.
Okay, it's 5. 1.26. There she goes.
Did it start on 5?
No.
Okay, start on 6.
Yep. 0.36. 8.
I'm guessing 10 is going to be a good candidate. Put a 10 microfarad in there.
That's a nice low speed.
I think so. I think if I was going to make this 3-speed, that's exactly what I would do. So then the next question is, where does it go over on low?
Okay. 14. We're at 2.9. 61.06. And are we
That's over, right?
That's, I think, right at our.
Hit the high switch. You'll know. No, you can leave it there. You don't have to turn it off. Oh, it was a little. It was over. Well, it was quite a bit over actually.
Okay.
So go back down, turn it down one to then turn the high switch off. So that's right at it.
15.
So 16 does go over. So you actually, I wouldn't want to use this with an 8, 12, 20 wall control, because if somebody accidentally pulled the pull chain to low, then you'd go over. Although I'm told Hunter made a wall control for originals that was capacitor based, that was designed to have the fan set to low, and then you use the capacitor based control to push it to resonant frequencies to get your high speed. I don't understand how that worked. I don't understand how that didn't damage something, but apparently it's a thing. So then next, turn it back to high and let's do solid state. How noisy do you think it's going to be?
I'm going to say, based on how it's been so far, I'm going to say bedroom quiet.
I will say living room quiet.
Okay. There you go. I think I might have already lost.
Yeah.
Very slow movement there, 7.46.
Got a little quieter.
Okay, drawing 1 point. That's our low speed current draw for almost half of a turn there.
Yep. Ooh, got loud again. I think it's pretty quiet.
And
It's
we went over briefly at 2. We went to 2.
well, that's the inrush current.
Yeah, now we're actually back down. Okay, that's full. 1.9. That's not horrible.
No, I'd say you might even have gotten it. I think it's right on the line between bedroom and living room quiet, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so we know a shaded pole is gonna have a big inrush. So the question is how big.
Okay, I'm gonna say 0.06.
106 over.
Yes.
Okay. I will say. I'll say 0.1 over. I guess. I'm honestly just guessing. I don't remember
So a full tenth of an amp.
full tenth of an amp. I don't remember how we used to do this. We used to just like. If we just used to guess numbers like you and I just did, but that's what we're gonna do for right now because I don't remember how else we used to do it.
What's our target?
I don't remember.
1.96,
Six, I
right?
think.
Yeah.
So mine would be 2.06 and yours would be
2.02.
okay. Let's see how high it goes.
Oh wow. 2.24. Wow, we were way over. It was
Yeah.
way over.
I think by Price is Right rules, I got that one, but I was still way off.
Dropping all the way down to 1.96.
Yeah, zone shaded pulls that big inrush. $1, Bob. So the last test of any video is the Rick test, the metal test, and I guess we have the Andy test now, which is the filmographer test. I don't know the camera test. I'm pretty sure these are metal. I'd be shocked if they weren't metal. They are
Very metal.
Very metal. They're heavy. They're powerful. They're cast iron. They're very vintage looking. They check all the boxes. I'm gonna guess they're moderately Rick. I don't feel like originals are super Rick. They're just too well made to be super Rick. They only because even Blender fans have their flaws.
I don't really know too much about Rick's preferences yet.
So this is how you categorize Rick stuff. This should tell you everything you need to know about Rick. Minimal Rick is what we call the live, laugh, love category. That is the equivalent of not metal. Moderate Rick is a wood grain station wagon. And then Peak Rick is a kitchen full of avocado appliances.
Okay, then.
So I feel like those categories kind of explain exactly what Rick is looking for. And what the car guys call malaise. So, okay, well, Andy and I got a lot of other fans for you. So, as always, this video has a sponsor, and that sponsor is Fanstick.
And you should buy Fanstick.
Yes, and do not move your money from Fanstick. Fanstick is a great company. They're doing great. Buy Fanstick.
Full chain extensions are overrated.